Hey, Mr. Manly here with lesson number 497 in How to Be Manly. With not much to do outdoors this time of year, I thought I'd take an indoor activity to keep in shape. By doing so, keep all my other indoor activities in shape as well. So I joined my local YMCA to tone up and see what kind of things they have to offer. Something that struck my eye on the bulletin board was they were in need of basketball officials. In doing this, I thought it would fulfill my indoor exercise without really working up too much of a sweat. One of the requirements was to take an exam to be certain you knew all the rules of the game. This exam was to be an oral exam and conducted by Beth Ann. I made my appointment and took one look at Beth Ann and was happy the exam was oral. Thinking to myself, perhaps later I could give her a similar exam. Well, of course, I passed and was given my whistle. She then said, "I have a scrimmage game to officiate. Would you mind being the second official?" I said, "Certainly." The game went well, and she was impressed with my skills. I said thank you and then told her I'd worked up quite an appetite and thirst, and would you care to get something? She said okay, and as we were enjoying ourselves, I asked her what her favorite calls on the court were. She said the hard charge, walking, and of course, teeing somebody up. Well, after hearing her favorites, I knew I could hold court and do so in a manly manner. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, follow along in your manly manual, page number 497, and repeat after me. Number 1, you like a hard charge, do you? Look at this. It's hard, and I'm charging. Number 2, walking. To paraphrase Skinner, give me 3 steps, because tonight we're going to score. Number 3, hey, what do you say we have our own scrimmage, and then tee each other up? Shortly after, as Beth Ann charges after you and hits you so hard it's a personal foul and you can't even walk 3 steps since your tee is no longer up, you'll realize just what kind of man you really are. Until next time, this is Mr. Manly saying be manly and good day.
Already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
It's Girl Scout cookie time. Even though there are no new flavors, the Scouts expect record sales because there are lots of new dispensaries. Bill Belichick is out as the Patriots coach. That's unusual for Robert Kraft, making news where a happy ending didn't happen. LL Cool J turns 56 on Sunday. These days, the only thing Mama says is take a multivitamin.
Prospector ruins everything, even the news. Tune in Monday for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Morning. I'm Rock 107's Prospector, and my wife makes fun of some of my reactions to Los Angeles Rams football games. She hasn't taken it this far yet, though. A woman in Texas named Mackenzie Waters made a list of her husband's go-to reactions while he watches the Cowboys, like him making a first down gesture or yelling, "Let's go," and she turned them into a bingo card. Yeah, she made it a drinking game, so she takes a drink each time she crosses one off. A video of it blew up on TikTok this week after ESPN shared it, and here are a few of the squares she came up with. He makes a touchdown gesture. He pretends to throw a flag. He yells, "Get him." He yells, "What are we doing?" Or he gets up and walks away and down the hall. Here he is in some of the sounds of him watching the game and then their reactions to the bingo card.
3rd and 14. What are we doing?
I've been watching football games with him for 7 years now, and he's been reacting the same way for 7 years. So I just thought it would be fun to show everybody, the silly things that he does during games.
We had talked about it before and just how predictable I am, and so we kind of thought it'd be a funny idea if we pieced it together just to see how well she actually knew me.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, I'm a predictable guy. There are many of my go-tos like, "Oh my God, that's holding," or "How do you throw that flag?" or "How do you not throw that flag?" and probably a lot more vulgar ones as well. But if she gets a full bingo card, she has to chug the rest of her drink. I think this might be a perfect way for my wife to make it through the at least one LA Ram playoff game this season.
The following rant may cause you to pull your hair out, scream at the radio, punch the dashboard. Complaints should be addressed to Loudmouth Yambag at rock107.com.
Hey, I'm Rock 107's Prospector, and here's what's got me jacked. I know I'm a picky little jerk sometimes. Okay, a lot of the time. I don't mean to be this way, but since I am this way, allow me to lean into it for a minute or so just to get something off my chest. I've been seeing and hearing a word used in an odd way for years now, and it's infuriated me. That word,
results. Results. You hear it all over the business world, in commercials, in meetings, in sports, all over. You really can't escape results. And a ton of commercials contain lines like, "We get results." Coaches in sports say, "We're looking for results." A colleague of mine said just the other day in a meeting, "I'm all about results, Prospector." Oh, are you kidding me? Let me hip you to something you may not have realized. Not all results are positive. Yeah, losing is a result. It's true. Non-fulfillment is a result. So you need to be more specific when you say, "I'm looking for results." This is an important concept that apparently escapes many of us. Not all results are winning, victory, or crushing it. Not all results are awesome, successful, or amazeballs. No, in fact, more often than not, the results we see in the world around us are foundering, blundering incompetence, or soul-sucking defeat. That's a result, and evidently a pretty popular one. So next time some 62-year-old yambag in sweats sits at a podium and says, "We just need to see the results of our hard work," let's remind him, we are. Those results evidently are woefully inadequate. Results are simply the outcome of something, a consequence, a conclusion, the tangible effect of your effort. And more often than not, that effort is lacking. So next time you hear, "We get results," I want you to hear my voice screaming in your head. Remember, failure is a result. I'm Prospector. I'm for the people. Who's with me? I gotta go crazy, man!
Ever see the crazy guy screaming at the wall outside the Times building?
Where does this rage come from, my son?
Tweet us with hashtag #IFoundProspector and we'll come and get him. Prospector, mornings on Rock 107.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
Your next paycheck could be a tad bigger than usual, even if you didn't get a raise. The IRS adjusted tax brackets for 2024 based on inflation. So if you're making the same as last year, or you only got a bump for a cost of living that was small, you might have less money withheld for taxes, therefore a little more in your check.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector
On Rock 107.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather round the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Yam Bag of the Week, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds.
Nominee number 1.
Some people hate repeating noises. I get that, but there's got to be a better way to handle it than this. Christina Granados, 49 years old, admitted striking her parent when questioned by cops who responded around 5 a.m. Christmas Day to a Florida home. She shares the home with her father. The victim told officers he argued with his daughter about the oxygen machine making a beeping sound before she punched him in the left side of the head. She said the pair quarreled over his oxygen machine and due to the way her father was speaking to her. She was arrested on battery on a person over 65, a felony, and has been ordered by a judge to have no contact with her father.
Nominee number 2.
An old man in Long Island, New York, messed up and tried to reheat his Taco Bell in the microwave while it was still in its aluminum wrapper. So the man went back to Taco Bell and made a big scene, berating the employees and demanding they repay him for the tacos and his microwave, which he says blew up. Then he really lost his cool because he saw one of the employees smile, so he slapped the guy hard.
Nominee number 3.
Did you see any drunk people do anything embarrassing at a holiday party this year? Maybe on New Year's Eve? A guy in Alabama had a few too many on New Year's Eve and got himself stuck in a decorative urn. Basically a big planter with no plant in it. The guy's name is Connor Padgett, and it looks like he's in his early to mid-20s. He went to a party in Mountain Brook, Alabama, about 80 miles north of Montgomery. Seems like maybe it was a work event because of how people were dressed up, but I mean, it was New Year's, so who knows? He thought it'd be funny to climb into a decorative urn outside and crouch down inside it. Once he got in, he couldn't get out. And a bartender at the party live tweeted the whole thing. One video shows him on his side, struggling to work his way out while people try to help him. And it wasn't fun and games at that point. He was stressed out. The second video shows the lead up when everyone still thought it was funny. Then it skips to the end where someone's chiseling him out with a hammer. The bartender who live tweeted it said once Carter was out, he walked around the party pantsless for a while. He may have lost his slacks during the ordeal.
Nominee number 4.
You probably aren't going to spend Monopoly money without anybody catching on to you, but you might be able to get away with using fake movie money, at least for a month or two. A 41-year-old guy in New Jersey named James Leonard has finally been caught after passing fake bills at a convenience store since last September. Apparently, he'd intentionally go during busy times so the cashiers didn't have time to scrutinize the bills. Naturally, the bank wasn't fooled, but it took a long time to actually pin it on James and then catch him in the act. The bills were specifically designed for movie sets, and they do look a lot like actual currency, but they say for motion picture only in fairly large letters across the front and in smaller letters along the side. James passed multiple $50 and $100 bills before being caught. He's been charged with theft by deception and using a forged document.
And the winner is
The drunk guy who got stuck in a decorative urn and had to be chiseled out. You're the Yam Bag of the Week. Keep it here for all of the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app, a free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.